What's her story, Bagley?
Actually, the strangest thing about her is that she's not weighed down by old soup cans at the bottom of the Thames. She's a load of dodgy gambling debts and she's refusing financial help from a rich friend.
A gambler who says no to free money? This is a bullshit story.
You're right. A gambling addict making a bad life choice. Oh, the mystery. You'd better talk to the friend if you want to crack this one.
Good plan. Mr. Bagley, make a meeting. I heard you needed help. What is it?
This is about my friend, isn't it? Oh, God. She's okay, right? She's in way over her head.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
She's destroying her life with this stupid gambling. I tried to help her get out of debt, but no. Now she's off to meet those Clan Kelly thugs. They're going to kill her.
Oh, that is bad. We will try help you.
I've tracked our naughty little gambler to a location that's crawling with Clan Kelly goons.
We must check this.
No, please. What's an arsehole? Oh, shit.
Failure to comply will result in forceful intervention.
Bloody brat.
Cease and desist, or you will be restrained.
You're not allowed to!
Control to all units, possible hostiles near your location. Moving to the hostiles location, over. All units, force this suspect to stop. Where did they go? Shit! Target is now fleeing on foot. Stand by. Officer down. I say again, officer down.
Use a pursuit intervention technique.
London is now under the protection of Albion. Disobeying an Albion order is illegal.
Right there, run a search. I'll have a look.
Shooting!
Be advised, we are on the trail.
I need a hand here.
There's
There's our suspect. Over.
Suspect's been hit!
Control, we're in pursuit. Over. Putting an end to the chase now.
Use a pursuit intervention technique.
All units force this suspect to stop.
Oh, God.
Control, I'm ready to immobilize the target. Where's my backup?
Control, we are pursuing the suspect. Over. Control, we're returning to HQ. Over.
Auto drive now enabled.
This is London Calling. You're here with me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. In today's world, we've all had to get used to our every move being tracked by the optic on our temples, like the cameras around us, and with every click we make online. Seems like everything we do feeds the big data beast. Why are data giants like Bloom so hungry to get hold of our private information and our metadata? What are they using it for? Will we ever have real private lives again? What is privacy in the digital world? And what happens when capitalism and surveillance become one? As you know, we keep all names confidential on Buccaneer. Speaking from a secure location, here's new technology strategist Charles, who worked all over the world trying to keep democracy strong in the face of the data assault.
If you have enough personal data on somebody, you're able to predict what it is that they're going to do. You can tell what they might be passionate about, but mostly you can tell what they fear. And if you can tell what someone fears, then you can manipulate them and you can move them in particular directions. Data is collected on citizens in every possible way. Data is collected through surveillance cameras. Data is collected from television sets. They don't even necessarily need to be super smart television sets. Data is collected from voter records. It's collected from how much power do you use in your house and how much water do you use in your house. In pre-crisis Britain, we got really used to all of our services being free. Everything suddenly became free that was digital. But what people forgot is that if you're not paying for it, then you're the product being sold.
If technology brings out the worst in capitalism, capitalism brings out the worst in technology. Senior academic Alfie tells us how big business repurposes big data.
Historically, what's happened, of course, is that people have traded their privacy for their convenience. As smartphones and other kinds of technology came in and became mass-consumed, mass-used items and technological objects, gradually people were so attracted to the affordances of these technologies that privacy kind of retreated into the background and into a state we've got now where it's essentially gone. Having this access to this data makes huge tech companies like Bloom so much more powerful than they would be otherwise, and not just in the obvious ways. Of course, there's a lot of worry and fear over what they can do with the data, can track anyone, find anyone, see what every individual is doing at any point in time. But I think there's even deeper reasons why this data empowers these huge companies to control our society and make us do things. So lots of predictive technologies which are implemented by these tech giants. It's not only interested in knowing what we're going to do, but influencing the patterns of our movement. So technologies might suggest routes to use in the city, places to go, restaurants to go to, cafes to go to, music to listen to. And these suggestions are not just predicting what we might like to do, they're actually influencing the way citizens move, think, eat, meet, and use their city as a space. So London has become a place where a small group of surveillance capitalist companies like Bloom can control the movements of individuals and orchestrate the way they move around their city and the way they essentially live, the things they do, the things they enjoy and the life they lead. So we're really kind of outsourcing our decision-making, I would say, to a huge corporate capitalist company, and there's something very, very scary about that indeed. All these technologies can be used to not only influence...
I've been taking bets with some of the others. If you can rescue our gambler friend from the area, I get 50 quid. Get to her quickly.
pledge to follow any and all directives from Albion personnel. Failure to do so will have consequences.
auto drive.
Now's your last chance. Oh no. Why are they fucking Wait, what was that? Take that off, yo.
Let's track them down! Drone, run a search.
Target sighted. Preparing to apprehend.
We're not gonna find them! It's gone!
Your teammate is en route to hospital, where they'll be for the foreseeable future.
Fuck! Alright, we better be finding whoever's responsible.
Yeah, alright. I'm listening.
The drone did it. I saw it with my own eye.
Neutralizing hostile target.
Spoiler up. Watch yourself.
The hostage is in here. Let's get her out.
Doing here? Get to cover! Trapped here!
Well done. Let's make sure they're all right.
Browse the internet directly as if the screen was in front of your eyes. Instead of having to carry around a phone, you've just got the small handheld unit. So much lighter and so much more convenient. It's great.
Vicky, you sound like you absolutely love the Optic. Do you actually think that it's made our lives any better?
You all right there?
Hey, I knew what I was doing. It would have worked out just fine.
Okay.
Okay, well, maybe I didn't. But I nearly had it. It could have worked.
What do you mean?
So I had this plan, right? I get so in debt to them, they haul me in. And bam! Once I'm in their hideout, I stick them with a virus. Except they were all, no money, we break your kneecaps. And I'm all, well, that escalated.
Well, that much is obvious.
But hey, maybe you could do it. And then we split the dosh. Like Robin Hood and Little John.
I'm on it.
Also, I thought that Optic's marketing strategy...
So she was actually gambling with her own life. Talk about raising the stakes.
We ought to help her out. Might convince her to join.
I found the Kelly lieutenant who should make a great target for the crypto-draining virus. I'll send you their details now.
That definitely helps, but it wasn't a case of this is a product that you need in your life.
Why do you hate it so much?
It's just the worst because you have to give up your privacy expectations and accept surveillance. It was almost like the government and Bloom didn't even need to make the Optic mandatory. Making it mandatory was only to get the last holdouts across the line. If free data didn't convince you, fines and arrests from the state for not having the Optic would pretty much be enough.
Please, what do you mean by privacy problems? No one really talks about that anymore.
Stay
They don't talk about it because we don't have any choice when it comes to the Optic. Yes, it's convenient and mandatory, but everybody's forgotten what it really means. Here, you've got a whole company owning basically all the data about your life. Bloom can see everything that you can see. Nothing is private anymore. There are so many times when I don't want anyone to have a clue about where I am, who I'm chatting with, what I'm doing. It's not even dodgy stuff, but I just don't want anybody to blackmail me with this in the future by hacking it. And because of Bloom's contracts with the government, it isn't just Bloom that can see everything I do, it's the government. The UK as a state has become a complete surveillance paradise.
I think you're painting a bit of a bleak picture. It's not all that bad.
No, you're completely wrong on this. I don't want everybody tracking me wherever I'm going around London.
Well, in that case, you might be interested in some rumours I heard. Did you hear that some DedSec hackers have found a way to bypass the Optic's connection with Bloom?
Are they actually making it better or usable or actually friendly for anybody?
The target for that crypto-stealing virus is around here.
Grand.
Don't make a fucking dickhead, bro! Knives out! I'm under fire! Ah!
That's him there. Get ready with the virus upload.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Shit! They're wounded!
Upload complete. Now scarf her or they'll kill you for sure.
Watch out! Shots fired!
Virus install complete.
She'll be pleased about that. We ought to share the good news with her. Took care of that thing for you.
I know. I can see all the numbers in their account getting smaller and the ones in mine getting bigger. We make a good team. We should do this again.
You know, DedSec's looking for fighters, and you seem to have some fight in you. How about letting it out?
Yes, yes, yes!
And if you had an automated Prime Minister, you could program it to be occasionally in the goddamn country. So that's, again, it's a step forward.
Again, I insist that the
Excellent. Our little posse's growing. Welcome to DedSec.
Yes, I'm so ready to help out the cause.
Very nice.
We have an Albion operative on our roster. We should let them know they're needed. Nigel Cass's meeting will begin soon. Approach the Tower of London when you're ready. Right, let's find her what's-its then.
Never been a Prime Minister, Andy. I've never seen him, I've never heard of him. The only times I ever hear what the Prime Minister does is it's when nothing happens.
I mean, it has reached the point where, and I've thought this for a long time, we would be better off if the Prime Minister was a watermelon. No, it would be, I think we'd all be happy with that. We'd all know where we stood.
You hear him being praised for his diplomatic skills all the time, but the best mark of diplomacy is when nothing happens. So good diplomacy is indistinguishable from him doing absolutely nothing.
You are listening to The Bug. 4,000 new dream jobs for everyone. All I can say, Alice, is that I'm very glad that my children studied drama at school, because that has set them up for life in modern Britain. That is the one core skill they need, the ability to pretend that they are living happy and fulfilled lives, that they have jobs that are worth doing, and that they're making the planet a better place, and that they control their own destinies, and that they have even a parody of a private life, and that they can smile without crying. That's what drama teaches them to do. Crucial skills in this day and age. Of course, it's not just the jobs that have been technologicalised beyond all recognition. It is also all reality. Thanks once again to Optic. According to Bloom, the Optic system is now the most secure it's ever been. And, well, of course, I mean, it's so convenient, Optic, isn't it? It saves us so much time and hassle trying to exist.
If we're lucky, word hasn't spread that you've hung up your jackboots. Just try to put on your meek, harmless, broken-by-the-system face. Oh, and don't forget your uniform. Looking sharp. Your ex-colleagues won't pay any attention to you unless you let them take a close look.
That is totally uncalled for.
Haven't seen you around before.
You're done for now.
A word of caution now we're inside. Any disturbance in here and Nigel Cass will surely cancel his meeting. Avoid being detected by your former colleagues or this operation is a bust.
Nigel won't have anything important on this floor.
You seem to know an awful lot about him.
Yeah. I was Albion too, if you hadn't twigged to that. Me and Cass were close once. Looked up to him. He was bigger than life, fam. Literally a tech genius. And I was just a gearhead kid. I wanted to be like him. That's why I joined up.
Seriously?
Didn't find out he was a murderous prick until later.
I don't think I can look at this.
Everything is proceeding on schedule, and Mr. Cass is as determined.
They're down to boots before coming in. Like I haven't got enough to do. Dealing with construction. Checkmate. It's only those in this country.
Together, we will accomplish right now. Law enforcement has to step up to meet the criminal elements in London. As soon as they settle down, it won't be necessary anymore. In the meantime, I'm happy to be safe.
Damn it!
Nah, forget it. Done.
I heard someone saying DedSec was...
They better not be. Just a bunch of terrorists pretending to have morals.
This door clearly requires a security pass.
Brill.
Use one of the nearby computers to create your forgery.
Be careful. You don't want to know what Nigel does with trespassers.
Can you believe that? I see the set of the year and I forgot to ask the band's name.
Say what you want about them, but they're doing their job, right? The Met was doing
You've been up
nothing.
here,
At
Liam?
least Albion's got boots on
There are
the
some
ground.
parts of this
They're
city
making
that-
their presence known, yeah?
What the fuck is this? You understand?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But there's always waste of time, waste of life.
Sure, but I thought you'd taken care of them,
You mean DedSec?
It'll take some time for the forgery to be ready. To keep you occupied, I dragged up still images and a recording from an internal investigation into Cass Sr.'s death.
Let's see it.
Internal Psych Assessment AS001 Subject Cass Nigel. Mr. Cass experienced a deeply traumatic event when he witnessed the murder of his father, Gareth Cass, CEO of Albion. He began exhibiting symptoms soon after what he frequently described as the random event. Mr. Cass's initial symptoms included insomnia, paranoia, distorted blame, and recurring flashbacks. However, he appears to have channeled his anger and self-described powerlessness into his work to ensure that Albion become, quote, a mechanism for preventing unpredictable violence. It seems somewhat of a mania, edging on psychosis. For me, this raises concerns about Mr. Cass's fitness to run a multinational security company. But I cannot, at this time, make any recommendation beyond continued monitoring, especially considering that I have been asked to close this file.
Oh, wow. I almost feel sorry for him. But maybe he should have gone through therapy instead of being put in charge of securing London.
Yeah, well, Nigel was never close to anyone but his dad. And me, I guess. Never had much faith in people, really.
Well, the pass is ready, but rough. If this resistance thing doesn't work out, I doubt you'll make a living as a document forger. Let's give it a go anyway. Nigel Cass awaits.
How's it going?
Mr. Cass knows what he's doing. It would do no
How are you
good
getting
to
on with
question
those
his direction.
metrics? The deadline is coming up quickly. We wouldn't do to miss it. He's presenting to the stakeholders right now.
I know, but if I mess this up, a vision and the whole project is delayed. I don't know how.
Don't even joke about it. I don't even want to
That
think
was
about
so
what
fast.
direction it has to. Just make sure you get it done.
Welcome to Project Themis. Our new autonomous drones.
These drones can identify, isolate, and terminate threats before they can do harm. They can go anywhere, see everything. They could kill a man alone in an alley or in a crowd of hundreds with perfect precision. Themis drones can do what humans have always struggled to. Act immediately and decisively. Without your support, I couldn't stand here and tell you, I promise you, that with the launch of Project Themis, London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe.
Mr. Cass, I was hoping you'd called us all in here today to discuss the ethical issues.
No, it's all right. The Commissioner cares, as we all do. I admire his passion and his dedication. Let's talk ethics.
Well, for one, Themis goes far beyond Albion's mandate. We really should have more government consultation.
I see. Delay the launch so that we can debate and assess the details.
We're missing the human element here. I can get the Defense Minister on the line right now.
Well, if you feel you must. It's the human element that got us into this. No more debate, delay, indecision. Understand this. I will not allow anyone, not even myself, to jeopardize Themis. Now, will our friends at Tidus be ready? You are the cornerstone of the project after all. Do you need to consult any outside parties?
No. We'll be ready.
And just in time. Criminals running our streets. Illegals threatening our families. The police commissioner himself. Assassinated by terrorists. Decisiveness is hard. But here's the best part. Once this decision is made, no more will be required of you.
Attention, a building-wide security sweep has been initiated due to document breach.
I warned you about that forgery. Your uniform will help. Don't let them get a close look at you.
How do I get out of here? Bags?
The catacombs, fam.
Oh, he's not in a good mood.
Perhaps he has something bigger to worry about than us. Albion's hot on his trail. GPS history shows a pattern of raids on locations he's recently visited.
That sounds like a job for DedSec.
Got it. I've tracked down an officer who was at the most recent raid. You can scrape their optic for intel.
wanted your own action in there, didn't you? Man can be very, persuasive.
Sounds like he plans to launch Themis ASAP. And from the way he was talking, I don't think it's the sort of genie that goes back into the bottle.
Shit! I'll check in with Central.
Oh, crap. I am not liking this at all. What was that?
Fucking hell. Albion's top secret project is an automated killing machine. And it looks like Cass is almost ready to launch. We have to get Themis out of his hands.
I'll prepare a briefing. Will we see you there, Hamish?
Pretty face, not risking, remember? But patch me in. You and me got some scheming to do, Bagley.
feeling ready to fight?
Let's get this done.
Bloody great show.
What is this fuckery?
Albion is always looking for good candidates. You can't even have a real conversation anymore, can you? Stand down.
All units, I say again, we have reports of a hostile in your area. Over.
Responding to the call. Over.
Indoors, unless absolutely. That is.
There's our suspect.
Control, we have an injured pedestrian.
You're going to watch yourself for that.
Some of this technology, Bloom CTOS and its detailed maps and data that it has on London really makes Bloom be able to take control of it. And CTOS can take control of your car if you're parked incorrectly. It's no surprise that it was made mandatory to have a self-driving car.
The system is so bad, though. It's so annoying. Whenever I try to use one of the shareable self-driving cars, I always find myself stuck in traffic jams or roadblocks. Not to mention the accidents. I've heard so many stories of cars shunting into the back of others. I think they're worse than human drivers sometimes. The technology was meant to make things.
I'm only using the bikes which are not self-driving at the moment, at least. And don't even get me started on the data. Everything that Bloom sees from your movements around the city and the self-driving cars is collected and feeds back into its big information control system.
Oh, not you and Bloom and privacy again. You're a broken record.
Not as broken as our city's cars.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, and Tash, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer. The broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
Auto drive now enabled.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster, the most important thing was to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible. And because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that, a couple of things happened. One was the use of manipulative techniques around behavioral economics, things that would just keep you scrolling or keep you listening or keep you looking for more information. The second is that that kind of environment favors sensationalism. And so you got more sensational headlines and more sensational stories, and it didn't matter whether they were true or not. It just kept people in, and it kept them in the loop. So we ended up in a situation where nobody trusted anything, and nobody believed anything at all. And that is the perfect environment for an authoritarian voice to come in and say, no, wait, we are the truth. So the ground for this environment really got created when we had suddenly authoritarian politicians everywhere, and anything that threatened them or they disagreed with, they would call it disinformation. That's disinformation, that's fake news. And again, we got in a situation where nobody really believed anything. And the trouble is if you were telling the truth, it's very hard to get your message to cut through all of the noise of all of the disinformation that's there. So like, you know, you remember Out on the Edges, there was this story about when they would take a house by force, they would take any infants and they would crucify them. And that's a great, fantastic, viral story. And how do you counter that story? With the truth. The only way you can counter it is by saying, no, they didn't. And of course, no one wants to spread that story. No one wants to hear that story. They want to hear the sensationalism. They want to hear how people were victims of violence when in fact they weren't. Or they were victims of insurgent forces when in fact they weren't.
The news isn't neutral, it's a battleground. Here's media researcher and academic Alfie.
The media has, of course, been perhaps the key way in which governments have controlled and influenced their populations. So, totalitarian countries have typically used huge mainstream media outlets to sell one kind of news, one kind of biased news to its population.
Auto drive
of
now
course,
disabled.
the media has always played this kind of key role in methods of state control. I think what's happening now is perhaps even more concerning, where you previously, in pre-crisis Britain, we had perhaps more diverse voices in the media, but now with the GBB, you're really only seeing one brand of news and therefore only getting one truth. So people end up with a very biased and controlled idea of the reality and the world that we're actually living in. There was, of course, many concerns and many problems, but in a way there were some positive things that, like, not all information was coming from one place, and so you'd have kind of far-right media outlets developing and then left-wing media outlets developing to combat those and kind of challenge the mainstream newspapers, TV stations, radios, and make sure people were questioning the validity and truth of the information they were receiving. So whilst there was the digital afforded more fake information, it also makes us suspicious and skeptical of it.
I'll start the briefing whenever you're ready.